What is going on, everyone? It's Emily from Living Plantfully, and welcome back to the channel, guys. So today, as you can tell, it is Wednesday. It is the day before Thanksgiving. Yes, I am so excited for tomorrow. I don't know about you guys, but I am just so freaking happy, so excited. I'm posting this week's video on Wednesday instead of Friday because I want to share with you guys my super amazing, incredible, epic, phenomenal, all the words to describe delicious and good Thanksgiving loaf, Thanksgiving meatloaf. Neat loaf, I've heard it called that as well. Anyways, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make my epic Thanksgiving loaf. It's just the perfect centerpiece for your Thanksgiving feast. It is just has all the flavors that you want in like the Thanksgiving loaf or Thanksgiving meat replacer. And trust me, all of your non-vegan meat eaters are going to totally love this stuff as well. It is incredible. It is that good. It is meat eater approved. I've given it to plenty of meat eaters. Enough with the chatter. Let's go ahead and get right into the recipe. So this recipe is quite simple as long as you have all of your ingredients already prepped. For the base of our meatloaf or neat loaf or loaf, we're going to be using some bread. So I just have right here some sliced bread that I cubed up into kind of like small little cubes, I guess you can say. And this is just whole wheat bread. I recommend that you use a bread that isn't like super fancy, like nothing with too many like seeds or grains and stuff in it, just because you want it to be able to soak up our mixture. To our cubed bread, we're going to be adding in some veggie ground round, some veggie like beefless grounds. That's what we're going to be using as some of our meat replacer. So this is a very like meaty vegan loaf. So go ahead and add that into our bread. And then as another substitute for the meat, we're going to be adding in some chopped walnuts. This is just going to add to our meatloaf a really nice kind of like crunchiness. And then we are going to be adding in as our binder some vegan eggs. If you don't know how to make vegan eggs, what the heck is wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. I've shown how to make this plenty of times. It's very simple. It's just 1 tablespoon of ground flaxmeal to 3 tablespoons of water. So I have 4 of that combined right here in this bowl. And as you can tell, it's gotten nice and thick, and this is what we want. I've had mine sitting out for a little bit already mixed with the water. So we're gonna add that in. Next, I'm adding in some flavors. You know, you have to have flavor in a meatloaf, because if not, what the heck is it? Right here, I just have some diced onions. Add that into there. I'm also gonna be adding in some melted vegan butter. Just is what keeps it like nice and moist. And then for seasoning, I have right here in this little bowl some rubbed sage as well as some poultry seasoning, which does not have any actual poultry in it. So add that into there. And we're going to be adding in some garlic salt. And then I'm going to be adding in a bit of some pepper. So you can add in as much as you want. I kind of just eyeball this part. So now that we have everything in our bowl, it is time to just mix all of this together. So I'm just using a nice big spatula. You just want to combine everything in here. And take your time with this part because you really want all of our cubed bread to just absorb all of those flavors. So don't be skimpy with the mixing. Okay, so you should be able to start seeing it come together. Okay, just like that. And then for the final touch, I know this is gonna be a little bit weird to some of you guys, but for the final touch, we do wanna add in some vegan shredded cheddar cheese. And then you just wanna fold this in. And this is also what's going to hold our meatloaf together as well, is the cheese. All right, so once we have our mixture nice and combined like this, you should be able to press it down and see how it kind of like stays together. So then this is going to go into my lovely little loaf pan right here, and this is a non-stick loaf pan, and you can grease it. So I just did a light little spray of some baking spray or cooking spray in my little pan here, and now we're just going to spoon in our mixture. By the way, this is a 9x5 loaf pan, just FYI. So now I'm just gonna kind of like press down my loaf in here just to kind of even it out in my pan a little bit. You don't want to squish it down too much either. Just want to make sure that it has a nice top. So I'm just going to cover our loaf with some aluminum. This is essential to getting that super moist meatloaf. And my oven is preheated at 350. This is going to go in there for 1 hour. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds like a lot. A lot of patience is required, but trust me, 1 hour is essential for this little baby to bake up. And we are going to take it out a little bit early just to add our sauce on top, which I'm going to show you guys how to make in just a second. So yeah, pop this into your oven for 1 hour. So now we are going to just create that sauce that I was just talking about. It's very simple, but super effective in making this loaf just over the top, okay? So right here, I just have some ketchup. Yes, ketchup. I know that ketchup is like the norm for meatloaf. And to that, I'm going to be adding some brown sugar. I'm going to be adding some cranberry sauce. And I'm also going to be adding in just some water to kind of loosen it up. So I'm just going to whisk that all together in my little measuring cup here. Make sure that everything is nice and incorporated. Okay, so this is what you should have right here. And you can kind of like squish down a little bit the cranberries if you want, but I kind of like there to be a little bit of chunks of cranberry because I think that looks really nice as well. Here is our sauce. It's ready to go, so we're just waiting on the loaf now. 15 minutes are left on my timer, so I went ahead and stopped that and took my meatloaf out just now. So I'm just gonna uncover this for the last 15 minutes, okay? Look at that. How good does that look already? Oh my gosh. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour over some of our sweet and sour cranberry glaze on the top. And we can also save some as well. So I just kind of like to spread it around just a little bit, just so that all of the top of our meatloaf is covered in this amazing cranberry sweet and sour sauce. That looks great. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this into my oven uncovered for the last 15 minutes and then we can check on it. So I just got my meatloaf out of the oven and I actually had it in there for 1.5 hours. I realized that earlier I said 1 hour, but we wanna have it in there for 1.5 hours and then we wanna put the sauce on at 30 minutes when there's 30 minutes left, if that makes sense. So now we're just gonna go ahead and let our meatloaf cool down almost completely. About 20 minutes should be fine. Okay guys, so my meatloaf is cooled down now. It is still warm to the touch, but it is a lot cooler than it was when I pulled it out of the oven, obviously. So yeah, now we're just going to go ahead and serve this up. So you want to cut into our loaf, and I already took the first slice out because that slice is always just like not going to be the prettiest thing because it's hard to like get it out from this little corner. So I have a damp paper towel here and I'm just like wiping it in between the cuts. It just makes it a lot easier. So yeah, get a nice thick slice. I'd say like about 1 inch or so. And I do have a kind of like wider spatula here. So what I like to do is I just like to kind of lay my loaf slice on the spatula, just like that. And I think like 2 slices is nice per serving. So again, wipe off our knife. Trust me, this is gonna make a world of a difference when you're slicing, because see how it has all of that stuff on it? So we wanna get rid of that to make it easier to do the next slice. Or you could just lick it off the knife if that's your thing. Oh, and I definitely like to sprinkle some parsley on the top just to give it a little bit of green. Put a little bit of parsley on top of my serving here. You can also garnish with some sage or some thyme. And there you have it, guys, my super epic Thanksgiving loaf with cranberry sweet and sour sauce on top. Okay, so can I just say this stuff is amazing. You can totally drizzle some more of the sauce. I put some in this cute like little ramekin thing. You can serve that on the side and then just drizzle some more of that delicious sauce on the top. Oh my gosh, yes. It might look like a mess, but y'all, I think that all meatloafs kind of are like a little bit messy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna dig into this now. What piece should I get? Look at that, get some sauce. You guys, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Y'all, we don't need turkeys. We don't need to harm turkeys. This meatloaf, vegan meatloaf, it's everything that you want and more. Oh my goodness. The onion, the sage, the poultry seasoning, the cheese gives it like a creamy feel to it. The walnuts in there, you get a little bit of crunch. This thing is so good, you guys. I'm so happy with this. Yes. This is it, guys. This is the one that you're gonna wanna make for Thanksgiving. It is so freaking phenomenal. I really hope that you enjoyed this epic Thanksgiving loaf that, yes, is vegan and is so amazing and incredible and phenomenal and delicious and just has everything that you would want from the star of your Thanksgiving feast. If you liked this recipe and this video, be sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you make this recipe or any of my other fall Thanksgiving recipes, please be sure that you take a picture of it and share it with me on social media. You can tag me at Living Plantfully, or you can also use hashtag the ultimate vegan Thanksgiving or ultimate vegan Thanksgiving. And you can also tag me and use hashtag Living Plantfully so that I can see all of your epic creations for the ultimate vegan Thanksgiving. If you guys have not yet checked out the playlist, you have one more day to do so. Go ahead and stack up on all of those amazing Thanksgiving recipes for tomorrow. Creamy mashed potatoes, cream bean casserole, all the good stuff. I have it all linked down below, and I'll have it right here, of course, as always. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you're here and you're new and you have not subscribed to Living Plantfully, be sure that you do so. The subscribe button is right down there, and don't forget to click the notification bell that is right next to it so that way you won't miss any of my amazing vegan recipes that I share on this channel weekly. That is it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and I will see you next week. Bye.